normal Saturday, for me, it was nothing like that. What I had on my to-do list was luggage prep, getting my carbohydrates, and something that I haven't done since I was a little girl, forcing myself to sleep in the afternoon. With time passing by, I was getting nervous, as if I was about to go to an exam I haven't studied for. The clock marked 11 p.m. It was time to go. I did a final check of my luggage. I had 2 t-shirts, 5 roll bars, magnesium, and the most important item, Vaseline. While I was waiting for the taxi driver to arrive to take me to the place, I felt tension in the air. My heart was racing like crazy. Poof, poof, poof. Thoughts were running through my mind. Am I prepared for it? Hell no. Am I crazy? Maybe a little bit. Can I do it? Most probably not, but at least I can try. Exactly at midnight, I started a journey that I would remember for the rest of my life. A 100-kilometer ultra-marathon, aiming at making full circle around Vitusha Mountain in Sofia, Bulgaria. Combining running and walking through various terrains, Vitusha 100 was an experience beyond my imagination. The first few hours of the run, I felt really great. I was surrounded by amazing people. Everyone was laughing, having fun. We were all exhilarated. And time flew so quickly by that I didn't even realize when I passed the first, the second, the third water stop without even taking a rest, with only briefing, filling up my food and water supplies. I felt so in sync with nature that I could run like this forever. The night was cool and I was enjoying the summer breeze, mesmerized the shining of the moon and the quietness of the night. I ran like this for hours. I was in sync with nature, and at that moment of pure bliss, I could not have imagined the need of anything else to keep me going until the end. However, of course, nature had its way to show me that I'm not a superhuman. And halfway through the ultra-marathon, close to the 5th water stop, with more than 45 kilometers left until the end, I reached a point where I could not take another step further. I was running for more than 10 hours without any rest, without proper food. I haven't slept for more than 24 hours. I was by myself in the middle of nowhere in the forest. I felt so desperate and so powerless to continue what I started with so much passion. I decided to sit on the side of the road and just take a rest. My body felt so exhausted like never before. The pain in my hips was unbearable. The weakness my body was feeling was going through my mind. I was getting weaker and weaker. I looked at my phone, and of course, there was no mobile phone reception. No roads nearby where I could just go and stop a car that would take me home, or even call a friend that would come and pick me up and put an end to this struggle I'm going through. As I was sitting there at the end of the route, crying and trying to figure out a way out of this situation, I realized that I had no choice but to continue and go until the end. And what I had to do is to find a way to trick my mind into believing that this is possible, even if my body was telling me otherwise. In that moment of desperation, with tears falling through my eyes, I looked at my t-shirt and I saw the entire route marked with all the water stops indicated. There were exactly 5 left until the end. And so I started counting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can do this. What I did afterwards is focus on the steps. I got up, pulled myself together, and started walking. One step after the other, I was getting closer and closer to the finish line. And when the steps were actually manageable, I focused on the next refreshment points. And when the thought of quitting and staying at the next stop was coming up, I made sure that I had food, some rest and water, and a brief chat that gave my motivation back with the people at the stand. And when again the same thought came to me when I was approaching the next stop, I said to myself, I do it at the next one. And so I passed the fifth, the fourth, the third stop. And I did this over and over again when actually the next water stop was the finish line. When I passed it, it was finally over. The struggle, the pain, the race was done. I immediately rushed to the nearby chair and could finally sit and relax. My body felt so exhausted. The muscle aches all over my body were becoming more and more recognizable. One of the staff members rushed to me with a bottle of water and asked me whether I was okay. I didn't even recognize and acknowledge him. I was looking at the medal I was holding in my hand, which was a symbol of my achievement. And even though my body felt like complete shit, my spirit and soul were exhilarated. I was as if I was at the top of the world. My journey lasted for 17 hours and 15 minutes. And through the last minute of that trip, it showed me that being consistent in what I do is much more powerful than rushing to the heights. For me, Vitosha 100 was a journey for my mind, a lesson for my body, and a test for my courage, persistence, and perseverance. It was my challenge that made me believe that I'm capable of anything, even if I might not be prepared. It was through the discomfort I discovered higher levels of joy that allow me today to say that I've completed a 100-kilometer ultramarathon. And this was just the beginning for me. Many more challenges came since that day, including moving to Copenhagen beginning of January this year and changing my life completely. And at the end of my story, I would like to dare you to challenge your mind, to challenge your views, and to challenge your body, and discover your Vitosha 100 that will be your life's turning point. Are you ready to start your next challenge? You know the drill now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!